What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday. Hope all you're having a great day so far. Getting into this episode of GH. Listen, Esme was being as messy as Esme could possibly be. She was just all the way messy. Now she's sitting here spiking drinks. She done put that little prescription drug all up in Trina drink or whatever. One of the games that can get you in trouble is Never Have I Ever. If it depends on who you playing with. You know what I'm saying? But that game, it definitely reveals a lot about people. I played that game quite a few times. Um, it's a good game though. I ain't gonna lie. Never Have I Ever is definitely one of my favorite little games to play with people. Like you just find out how crazy or how freaky people really are. Like I say, it could be a fun game, but a very dangerous one too. Um, Esme used that game to her advantage because she's sitting there talking about never have I ever dated my best friend. So Trina took a drink. She took a sip. And Jocelyn was curious, like, who's the best friend that you dated? Um, Esme was doing all that on purpose because she wanted to sabotage Jocelyn and Trina's friendship. She wanted to come in between them. So then Esme started suggesting that the best friend was Cameron. And Joss was pissed, like, why would you say that? Because she being messy. That's why she's saying it. All of this is designed just to be messy. Um, so then Esme was like, never have I ever um damn, what was it? Never have I ever had a crush or dated my best friend's crush or something like that. Um she was definitely trying to drive a wedge. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad Jocelyn caught it. She knew exactly what Esme was trying to do. Jocelyn has been on Esme's neck since she first met her. Like, she is not like that girl since she first met her. And for good reason. Because usually you know how to read people. You know what I'm saying? You're a good judge of character. She knew Esme was up to no good from day one. And this trip really proved it. If no other time proved it, this trip really revealed that. Because she kept, any little chance she kept trying to stir up trouble every little chance she got. So of course, Trina started getting in her feelings or whatever, feeling like, oh, I miss it when it was just us three as friends, just friends and stuff like that. And she running off sick to the bathroom. Um, I love how Jocelyn got on Esme's ass. She was like, you ain't nothing but a manipulative little bitch. And I loved it. I loved every second of it because it was true. And here go Esme trying to play victim. I was just trying to be your friend. You never liked me since day one, and I just wanted to be friends. Cry me a damn river. Who's buying that bullshit from her? I always just wanted to be your friend. That's it, Jocelyn. You just never liked me. Stop your bullshit. Stop your bullshit. And I'm just looking at Spencer like, Spencer, if you are buying her BS, you are gullible and dumb. Like, this girl ain't no damn good. And it's like, how many times does she have to show who she really is for y'all to believe it? Jocelyn believed it from day one. Trina already believed it too. Like, none of them let their guard down around her. The girl is messy, just straight up messy. That's all this chick is. So anyway, moving on from that. Um, Nina just need to go sit down at this point. Like, I really don't see why Nina keeps wanting to have conversation with Carly. I felt like Carly tried to handle Nina as best as she could under the circumstances, because they are in yoga. It's like yoga is supposed to be namaste, namaste. It's supposed to be peace. Like, you're supposed to bring peace to your chakras and all that stuff. And they just been bringing drama to that class. Most of them just been coming in that class having all these little catty arguments. That's not yoga. That's the opposite of what yoga represents. It's supposed to be peace. You just numb your heart and get you, numb your heart and get you, numb your heart and get. You got to rub the ears and stuff. It's just they just messing with the Zen. Breaking everybody's good chakras. Um, Yeah, she said they're talking about, oh, I want to talk to you about Sonny. And you know how Carly is. Carly ain't gonna let her get a word out. Carly was like, listen, I said all I need to say to you. Carly was like, I ain't got nothing else to talk to you about. Leave me the fuck alone. Like, Carly was not here for it. She said, listen, don't talk to me about my marriage. I'm good. Do I think she was gonna tell her about the manic episode? Probably not. Maybe she would have. I don't know, but I just felt like even still, she still could have. Nina could have called Dante. I don't give a damn if Sonny told her don't call my family. So what? The man wasn't in his right frame of mind to make those choices. You know what I'm saying? And isn't this what got her in trouble in the first place because he was alive and she knew and she didn't contact anybody? That's what pissed the family off anyway. So you're basically doing what they're mad at you about now. You know what I'm saying? Like you're doing it again. She could have called Dante. Like, come on, Sonny has been confiding in Dante and call him. You know, just let him know, hey, you know, your dad is not taking his pills. He's having a manic episode. Like, let him know. You know, if you don't want to call Carly or tell Carly or Michael or whatever, that's fine. Given the situation between them, I get it. But you could have called Dante or Christina or somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. No excuse. Um, so yeah, I don't blame Carly for not wanting to talk to her about that because Carly is just at her wits end with this. This is why she came to yoga to get some peace of mind, some clarity, not to dredge up the same drama that they've been talking about over and over for months. She was like, no, I just want to, chill. So of course Sasha comes up in there all, giddy and happy and at first I'm just looking at her because she came in all smiles. So when you dealing with somebody who did the drugs, and they come in somewhere all giddy and geeked up and happy. I started looking at Sasha, just looking at the TV, and I'm like, is she high? Just looking for signs. I just gotta pat myself because I'm. Listen, I don't give a damn. Sometimes you got to do that. When you dealing with somebody that did drugs, like, and they come in all excited and stuff, you gotta just look at them, like, just stare at them and look at their face and their movements and stuff like that, and just be like, because you kind of wonder, like, you high? But I guess she's just high on life right now. I guess she talking about, oh, work is going great and stuff because Carly was asking her like, how you doing? Oh, work is great, work is phenomenal, and mm-mm. And Carly wasn't buying none of that happiness that she came up in there with because Carly felt like it was fake happy. She felt like um she felt like Sasha was putting on a little show, trying to make people think she happy because she was like grief sometimes masks itself as acceptance, which is so true because it does. Um, I don't think Sasha moved on. She claims she's ready to move on, and you may be ready to move on. You think you're ready to move on, but I feel like Sasha needs to talk to somebody professionally. All that fake happy that she's doing. It's nice that she's trying to pump herself up, but it's not for real. You got to really like you can't hide from your feelings. You can't just wash it away. She has to deal with this instead of running from it and avoiding it. Grieve. I'm not even gonna say that she got to grieve how other people want her to grieve. She got to grieve how she wants to grieve. But don't walk around faking the funk. Don't do it because it's gonna make it worse. Cause you know how you just get on this high and then when that high is over, everything just comes crashing down. You just break down. That's what happens. You know what I'm saying? Like she with this little fake happiness, all giddy and geeked. It's like it's not real. You're not really all that happy and chipper like you're trying to make people think you are. Um, she really needs to talk to somebody about this, and of course she's reluctant. She don't want to grieve the way people want her to grieve. She just wants to move on. I'm like, yeah, but that's normally not how that works. You can't move on until you really accept what happened. You know, and of course Nina popping up, putting in her little 2 cents, talking about me and Carly. We both can relate to losing a child and stuff. Carly looked at Nina and was just like, listen, can I have a moment alone with Sasha? I fucking fell out laughing when she said that shit. I was like, listen, Carly was like, don't try to butter me up trying to be on my side. We are not friends. We are not frenemies. I just don't like you. Can you leave so I can talk to this girl alone? I said, exactly. Like, why are you over there? Like, go. Go. Um, Need to be doing the most. I'm like, get on some damn weird. Like, get your ass on. So, after Carly get done talking to Sasha or whatever, here go Nina again. Carly, I really need to talk to you about Sonny. He needs you. He loves you. He's this. He's that. And Carly just like, listen, I gotta go. Carly was like, I'm not talking about this with you. Like, I ain't got nothing to say to you. I felt like Carly handled that as well as she could, because it could have went a whole nother way that I was hoping that it would go. But I don't want them tearing up that yoga studio. Don't tear up them people's stuff. don't tear the people's stuff up. So anyway, moving on from that. So Sonny waiting on the doctor or whatever. He's starting to get restless and all that. So he leaves out the room, and Monica walks up on him. And Monica was concerned about him. And I know, I've seen it over the past few years where anytime Monica shows any, type of being cordial to Sonny and Carly and stuff like that, people on message boards to get all hostile, talking about, oh, Monica should hate them forever. She should cuss them out every time she see them. Well, here's the thing. Monica, people evolve. Just because Monica showed concern for Sonny, I mean, Sonny was a big part of Jason's life. Whether Monica likes it or not, Jason considers Sonny his best friend, like a brother. Monica can't take that away. Monica, there's nothing she could say or do that will ever change that. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, she has come to accept it because she has no choice. You know what I'm saying? And after everything that's happened between the Corinthoses and the Quartermains, Monica, people evolve. And Monica's at that age now where it's like all that shit that happened 15 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, she ain't thinking about that no more. You know what I'm saying? Will she ever forget it? No. Will she probably ever fully forgive? Maybe not. Who knows? But she's moved on. You know what I mean? After all that loss that woman has suffered, she's moving on. You know? Do she really like Sonny and Carly? Not really. Not really. But she know how to be cordial. And that's what she's doing. Because you gotta understand, when you get older, you mellow. You become very mellow in your older age. You know what I'm saying? You're very different from how you were way back when. So I believe that's just the case of that. She's mellow. And I thought it was nice that she was concerned because she could tell something, was bothering and weighing on Sonny. She could see that. Um, but he, thanked her for her concern, and he told her, he was good, he was all right. And of course, once she left, Brando pop up. So, and what I noticed in the scenes with Sonny and Brando compared to the scenes with Carly and Sasha, Brando is grieving. He's still grieving. He's still trying to figure out how to move on. He's not faking the funk like Sasha is. You know what I'm saying? And I noticed the two parallels between them. Like, she over here cheesing and happy and, oh, I'm moving on. Work is great. Brando, on the other hand, is like, listen, I need help. And I commend him for that because he's strong enough to know when he needs help. You know what I'm saying? He needs it. He's ready to admit that. Sasha might take a little bit longer, and that's all right. You got to get help when you feel like you're ready to do it. You can't do it on nobody else's timetable. But I commend him for it because he wants to get help, and Sonny was talking to him and stuff like that, and Sonny seemed very lucid, thank God. Um, but the advice and stuff and the good advice that Sonny was giving him, Sonny needed to take that advice for himself. And I'm glad Sonny told him. He said, listen, we're both gonna get some help. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go get some help. Um, because Brando felt like, how could he, you know, talk to a shrink about a child that he didn't even know? You know what I'm saying? Like, or really get a chance to know. And Sonny was like, at the end of the day, you bonded with that child briefly when it came into the world, and that child in here in your heart. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was some good advice that Sonny gave him, and I'm glad Brando going to get help. He's not faking the funk, walking around like everything peachy, peaches and cream. He knows that he's not right mentally. He's not right. He misses his child. He was preparing to be a dad. Giving his child a good life and teaching him things, and you know what I'm saying? Like, he was prepared for all that, and it got snatched. So I'm glad that he's gonna get that help. I think that's good, and I'm glad that they're doing this story. Because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out there that can relate to miscarriages and stillbirths and stuff like that. Getting hype about a child and boom, it's taken away from you. So I'm glad they're telling this story. I wish it was more in depth, like we could see them more often dealing with this, but it's good for what it is. I feel like the actors are bringing it. And I meant to say that yesterday about Maurice Bernard and Cynthia Watros, with the scenes at Sonny's house and stuff like that, where he was in that manic stage and stuff. I love those scenes. I feel like the actors nailed it. They nailed it. They knocked that shit out of left field. I loved it. That's some Emmy worthy stuff. Maybe they could be able to, put that stuff in for the Emmy reel this year because they're shooing. They I don't see how they can't win. Those were amazing emotional scenes. Um. So anyway, moving on from that, this baby Louise slash Bailey thing is blowing up. Victor had the audacity. This man ain't got no shame about himself. I really was hoping Victor would come to his senses and not trust Peter, but Victor is just the audacity of that fool. He really told Peter that Bailey is really Louise. I was like, are you fucking mad? Like, why would you? All of this for information on Drew, how to control him or whatever, some information he want from Drew. All of this, and you're willing to like sell out a baby? This fool really sold out a child for this information. Like, is it that important that you would sell out a baby to this idiot? Like crazy as all get out. And of course, Peter wasn't believing it at first until Victor gave him the lowdown on, his suspicions and stuff and how he confirmed that, they had a baby the same night. They've been, around each other, Maxie and BLQ. And, Peter was wondering if Austin had anything to do with this. And Victor was sure that he didn't. But he was pissed when he found out Maxie conspired with BLQ because he didn't think Maxie could be so devious and stuff towards him. So now he feels betrayed by her. I was like, fool, please. You got her husband killed. You done pulled all type of shenanigans the last couple years, and your feelings are hurt. Miss me with that BS. So now he wants to pay Maxie back and stuff like that, but now he want Victor to help him get out of that hospital because he needs to, find a, get the baby before anybody else realize what's really going on because once they do, they're gonna keep that child from him. So Victor's sitting there talking about, well, I held up my end of the bargain. You need to hold up yours. And of course, like I said before, that you can't trust Peter. He basically was like, Maxie was supposed to be a part of that deal. So since now she's not, the deal has changed. And he's not giving up that information until Victor pretty much gets him out of there, helps him even further. And Victor told him, he was like, I'm not helping you get out of here. He said, you getting out of this hospital is your problem. I supplied you with the info that you needed. I was like, see, this is why you can't trust Peter. And Victor is so dumb. I'm like, what type of Cassadine are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, idiot, you should have got the information first. Like, Victor's just dumb. I was like, what type of stupid shit is that? So, of course, Monica came up in the room or whatever and basically laid into Peter how happy she was that he was going to prison. So, anyway, Valentin was putting the pieces together. He put the pieces together and pretty much figured that BLQ is not the baby's biological mother and that Maxie is. Because he remembered how after they brought the child home or whatever, Maxie would come by the mansion all the time. You know what I'm saying? So he needed proof to prove his theory about what he was thinking. And he basically told Martin that I'm telling you all of this in confidence because you represent me and Peter, so you better not go running your mouth to Peter. Because Valentin made it very clear to Martin, like, do not cross me. So he went to the hospital or whatever, and he went to go see Monica. And of course, Monica was standing next to her boo, Yuri. I was like, look at Yuri and Monica together at last. After they get done talking to Valentin, they about to go knock some boots. Like, you can tell by the way they be looking at each other and they all close next to each other and stuff. I say, yeah, y'all about to be fucking. Y'all about to be doing that little, what grown folks do. You about to go bang some headboards together. Oh, that shit, right. So anyway, Monica was telling them how she felt like, Maxie was coming by the mansion a little bit too much, and she was going to end up one day having a break from reality and thinking that the child was her own. And all of that was the information that Valentin needed. You know what I'm saying? Like, plus he wanted to look into Bailey's medical records to prove his theory. And of course Victor came out and stuff like that, watching him and all that, knowing that what he was about to do. So ain't no telling what Victor is about to do. If Victor continued to work with Peter, he's just dumb. Like, I already think very less of Victor at this point, as far as Cassadine standards go. But it's like, come on, dog. You sold out a child. You need to get your ass whooped for that. Like, you sold out a child. Who does that? So Maxie had to think very quickly how to get Austin off the scent, off the trail, because Austin was figuring it out. Because he knew he heard voices, and he knew he heard Maxie's voice, having a calm conversation. And of course, she's spinning some tale talking about, oh, when she passed out, she was hallucinating that she was talking to Britt or whatever about the baby and all that stuff. She was hallucinating. He ain't buying it. He ain't buying it because Britt told him what she was supposed to do, and when he told Maxie about it, Maxie was pissed that Britt told him that. Um, and then he was bringing up BLQ and stuff like that, and Maxie had snapped and was like, "Oh, leave her out of it. She ain't got nothing to do with it." Her reaction when he brought up BLQ pretty much told on herself when she did that, because he told her, he was like, "You had a quick, strong reaction to that when I mentioned her name." Um, and he wanted to know, like, who was she really talking to? Like, who was she having a back and forth conversation with? She kept trying to steer it into another direction, and then she ended up kissing him to deflect. You know what I'm saying? So of course, after they kiss, Felicia pops up asking what's going on between them and all that, and now here she go. Oh, I'm just ready to go home to my kids and hug them and be with them. She just kept on deflecting. Just kept deflecting. I'm like, Austin is gonna figure it out if he hasn't already. He know at this point that she more than likely she lying. He probably know. Her answers and the way that she was acting, it was off. And he know. So anyway, that was pretty much the whole episode. Hit the comment section, let me know what y'all thought, and I will see you all later. Have a great day. Peace.